Blog Talk Radio.
Oh, it's time to get real. Oh, yeah. It's a new experience. Spirituality. Yeah, keep your ears open for this one. Spirituality. You got a question for RLN? Spirituality. Yeah, it's time to get some answers, baby. Spirituality. Oh, now we get real. Spirituality. Yeah, it's time to get down. Yeah, you gonna feel good now. Real good. That's what I'm talking about.
Welcome, everyone. Welcome to Reality Spirituality. I'm your host, Rebecca Lynn Norrington, and today we're going to have a special caller in, Nathan. I don't know his last name, but you might be familiar with this caller, Nathan. But let me share with you what the show is about. Reality Spirituality is about living connected, living with knowing that everything that happens to you and everything that doesn't happen to you is in perfect order. We really have an easy job, and that job is to flow without resisting. That job is to relax and know that the universe has everything in order. But we're going to go right to a commercial because we're waiting for our caller, and as soon as he calls in, we will go live.
Oh, it's time to get real. Oh, yeah. It's a new experience. Spirituality. Yeah, keep your ears open for this one. Spirituality. You got a question for RLN? Spirituality. Yeah, it's time to get some answers, baby. Spirituality. Oh, now we get real. Spirituality. Yeah, it's time to get down. Spirituality. Yeah, you gonna feel good now. Real good. That's what I'm talking about. Time to get real.
We're going to go right to our caller. Here we go. First caller of the day. Welcome. You're live on Reality Spirituality. What's your first name?
Hello, my name is Nathan. Good morning.
Well, good morning, Nathan. Good morning. Welcome to the show. What's going on?
Oh, well, a few things are going on. I'm just realizing a lot of things about myself. Sorry, I'm walking around the streets of New York. It's a little loud this morning. This guy's literally slamming on something on the floor. That's what it's like around here with a big hammer. But so realizing some things about myself, and especially in the last couple of days, I wanted to share a little story that happened.
Please, my audience loves stories.
Okay. So one of my friends who I haven't spoken to in a few years sent me a message saying, "Hey, Nathan, I miss you. So how are you doing? It's really great to hear from you. I'd love to catch up." And then she told me about some business venture she was in. She sent me a video link. And to make a long story short, or to try to make a long story short.
Hold on. Let me just share this. We like long stories on Reality Spirituality.
Oh, well, that helps.
Yeah, the more detail, the better.
Oh, I see. Okay, so she sent me a video, and it was a 7-minute video explaining this business that these two actors put together. They didn't put together the business, but they're promoting it. And it was a really funny video. So it's fun to watch. And they're talking about selling these vitamins and health food products like nutritional bars, and how you can be a part of selling them too. And they're showing videos of people laughing and people having fun boxing this stuff up, and all these doctors giving a thumbs up to the bars and the vitamins, looking like a really good company to join, and also to make a lot of money on the side. And I watched the video, and it reminded me of this thing that I got involved with a few years ago, not for very long, this Amway thing where you kind of sell products and you invite your friends and family to sell them too. And it's like a little bit of a pyramid situation. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, exactly. So she sent me this video, and it looked good, and it was well done. I sent her a message back, and I said, hey, thanks for the video. It was great. But one thing is I'm not really going for bars that are wrapped up. I'm trying to eat more whole foods, not really processed foods. And I also asked her
Did you say that in your email?
Yeah, I said that in my email, and then I also asked her, I said, what's your success with it? Are you making money off of this right now? And then she texted me back. She said, I can answer all of your questions in a conversation on the phone. And then she proceeded to give me more information, a lot of information on her business, how she knows the guys and how the nutritional bars are actually really good, and all of this information. And I began to be extra skeptical. I already was skeptical, but extra skeptical. And I didn't like that she was hard selling me on this. And this is a friend of mine. This is a friend of mine from college and high school. But I haven't talked to her in a while. So finally I sent her a message back that said, you're really hard selling me on this, and that's not a good sign. And this reminds me of something I did a while ago, and which was basically what I saw as a scam. And I sent her a website of a description of these kinds of things. And this company specifically, it kind of broke it down on the scam side. It was showing how it could be a scam. And she didn't send me a message back after being really involved with sending me information for a couple days. But my message had a lot of charge to it, my message, for some reason. I kept thinking about it. And this isn't even something I wanted to join, but for some reason I was really invested in thinking about it and really pissed off at her that she would send me this. She's supposed to be my friend. But my friend is scamming me. And I'm like, I'm never talking to her again. And how could she? And she's involved with something. She needs to get out of it. And I just spent some time thinking about, why am I so worked up over this? I'm not even going to do it. I don't even want to do it. And I don't even talk to her. But I'm really worked up about this whole people trying to scam other people thing.
Other people or you?
Exactly. Because as we know, I've talked to you before as far as how we can benefit. Oh, you've called it
before?
A while ago. It was a while ago. Yes. Do you remember me now?
I do. I kind of do remember you. I definitely remember the loud noises in the background every time you call. That's always a treat.
Well, you could just call them maybe sound effects. Maybe nice sound effects.
I do, and actually there are a lot of people that call in from New York, and I know that they're from New York because all I hear is taxi drivers honking in the background. It's really kind of fun because the city's so electric and the city's so loud.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I might be moving soon. But that's another story for another time.
Well, let's get back to, first of all, I want to say thank you for calling, because one of the things I always tell my callers is that you just sharing, you're always going to, somebody else is listening, and you're always helping other people. These are issues that nobody talks about. Not really. Why? Why are you charged? Why are you charged? So your question is, why are you charged? Can you, because one of the things I'm sensing from you is that you're very intuitive. So can you answer your own question, why you're charged?
Yeah, and I did try to answer my own question. I'm sure there's definitely more to get to. But I woke up feeling like maybe the way that I earn money is something about it doesn't fit me, or maybe I feel like I'm scamming other people in a way. But I justified that by, I'm in a different line of business. I teach fitness. I do one-on-one yoga. I was like, well, that's a product I believe in. This is a product I don't believe in, what she was talking about. And I was thinking, another big one that I really liked was that remember I said that she was a friend of mine in high school and college, but I haven't heard from her in years. Mm-hmm. One of the things that I also didn't like was that she talked to me like as a friend, we have to catch up, and then proposed something that she wanted from me. And now I'm thinking about me getting in contact with people in my life. And do I only get in contact with people when I need something from them? So 2 things I did that morning was, one of them is I messaged her back and I said, I want to thank you for all the information you gave me. I'm sorry I came at you with my opinions about you, but I actually realized that I have some things going on with me, and it has nothing to do with your company, and it has nothing to do with you. And it was nice to hear from you. I missed chatting with you, and that was it. She sent me a really nice message back after that. And the other thing I did was I started contacting people on my phone list just to say hi. Before I wanted to do that because I didn't have an intention to hang out with them. I didn't have an intention to ask a favor. I just felt like maybe I can just reach out just to reach out, because maybe I was charged at her for reaching out to me when she just needed something, and maybe I do the same thing. I wanted to chat about that too, about what does that mean when we reach out when we just need a favor. I haven't spoken to you in years, but it's kind of, we might kind of make it chummy. It's like, hey, what's going on? How are you? Oh, by the way, can you donate to my website? That kind of thing. And I also, one last thing about pricing. I'll throw this in really quick. We can bounce some thoughts around, but I do want to make the most money possible out of the fitness classes, out of the privates. And sometimes I think of a price. I thought, what's kind of the highest price I can ask for, and will they bite? And this last woman who was really interested in yoga, I gave her kind of one of my highest prices. I've never really asked this much because it was a duo session. It was her and her husband. And she said, she wrote me back. She said, well, that's too much for me. Maybe next time. And I was really pissed because she was really interested in doing yoga, and I actually liked her too. And I feel like I blew it with the price. And I think I was, like, if she was willing to say, yes, I'll pay that, I would have felt really good, because I would have been like, wow, that's a lot of money. And she's actually willing to pay it. But I knew it was kind of a lot. So just kind of throwing that theme in there too, with this whole quote scamming thing, or people trying to make money off of other people.
People?
Me trying to make money off of other people. Yeah, so all of that kind of wrapped up into a cohesive theme. That's where I'm at today.
Well, 2 words. Ooh-wee!
Yeah, right?
2 good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. Let me start from the beginning.
Yes. It's
interesting. what I've learned in my 59 years, investing, having attachments to people and calling them friends, what does that really mean, a friend? What does that really mean? Well, to me, that means somebody that is going to be invested in my growth. Now, what does that mean? Do they have to call me every day? No. Do they have to see me all the time? No. But really invested in my growth. And I'll tell you right now, I have 2 friends. That's it. 2. And neither one I talk to every day or see. This thing about friends and their friends and their friends, I'm letting you know right now that investing in other people is a recipe for being disappointed a lot. There's a difference between friend, because I take the word very seriously. Friend, it means something deep. It's not just because you're on my Facebook page, or I have your phone number and we go out. I don't care if I see you every single day. You're not my friend. You're an acquaintance. And so that's number one that I was feeling. Putting a label or putting that important label on somebody, friend, is really I wouldn't label them a friend. Number one. What do you think?
I definitely love the idea of not getting attached to that label, and because you're right, when I call her a friend,
mm-hmm.
there's like an underlying expectation of what I think she should say to me, how I think she should treat me, how I think I should treat her.
Exactly.
And because of that, I was disappointed that a friend
mm-hmm.
would ask me a favor after not talking to me for years.
Mm-hmm.
I said, well then, and then in my head I'm thinking, well, now you're not my friend. And actually, to be honest, when I sent her the message back saying that I realized some things about myself, it's not about you, and then she sent me another message back, really warm and supportive, I thought, oh, she's my friend again.
Mm.
I mean, literally going up and down in the course of 2 days after not talking to her for years. I like the idea of putting her as an acquaintance. Now I'm thinking, do I even need acquaintance, or, do I need either one of those labels? Does anyone need a label?
Absolutely, you're absolutely right. But I wanted to point that out because that's the reason why you were so deflated, because you said, "Oh, she's a friend," and having expectations of how she's supposed to act. That's just like a boyfriend. Oh, then you're saying you're a boyfriend, then you have to act a certain way. Wives and husbands. Oh, you're my husband. Oh, you have to act a certain way. Well, let me say, anytime because you think people are supposed to act a certain way, that's a big problem. She's my supervisor. She's supposed to act a certain way. No. Never.
It's a little tricky, I think, with work situations as far as, okay, like a job description, like, okay, employee, you punch in at 10, and then at 12 we have a business meeting. At 2 o'clock we fill these papers in. How does that sort of expectation tie in? Are you talking about that, or maybe more behavior, or are they kind of two different things?
I'm really talking about because somebody has a title that they're supposed to act a certain way. Supervisor, just because you're a supervisor doesn't mean that she's not going to gossip, doesn't mean that she's not going to have favorites, doesn't mean that she's not going to break the rules. That's any label for anybody. Just because they're the President of the United States doesn't mean that he's an asshole, or senator doesn't mean that they. In other words, just because somebody has a title, president of the company, doesn't mean that they are going to act a certain way. When you put a title on somebody and then expecting them to behave in a certain way, and again, that's all on you, that's all on me. Having expectations of anybody else's behavior based on their title, friend, boyfriend, husband, supervisor, president. How about a homeless guy? You're homeless, so you're supposed to act like this. It's the same thing. It's the same. So number one, this is the great thing. It's always on us. See, when you said that you sent a text back or sent your first response back, and what was your first? Because I remember you saying it, but I don't remember exactly what you said. But I remember thinking to myself when you said it, I'm like, wow, that's a lot of information, as opposed to just saying no, thank you.
Exactly, and that's another good point. I think what I first said was I was talking about the bars don't really appeal to me. It's kind of process, and I also asked how is her success with it, and then now she is. I realized later that response made it seem like I'm now interested. Now I'm getting into it. I'm starting a conversation about it, and
you open the door.
Open the door. And then now I'm pissed that the door's open. Now I'm thinking, then the door's open, and then I'm putting it on her like, well, why am I getting all this information?
And you open the door.
And I opened the door. Well, she opened the door, right?
No.
Did we both open the door?
No. She knocked on the door, and you opened the door.
I like that. I was fooled because it was the boogeyman at the door. It wasn't my friend.
Well, what I'm trying to tell you is you don't want any friends. Get it? Why do you want friends?
I guess I don't want any friends now.
Not only do you not want any, you don't have any.
Oh, thank you. That is actually a good release to, because there is a little label monitor that goes on in my head, in my mind, that's constantly this is a friend, this is a better friend. Oh, they're a better friend than they used to be.
Yeah.
This is my close friend. This is my longtime friend. This is my best friend. I mean, that's crazy.
Well, it's not crazy.
Right.
It's not crazy. It's just not true.
Oh, boop.
Yeah, listen. Let me tell you a really quick story. You might have heard it a million times. Who knows? I don't know if you listen to the show or not.
I listen from time to time.
I'm sure you do. So would I label you a loyal listener? Probably not. But anyways.
I digress.
Yeah. Let me get back on Pernt. So this is a little quick story. I remember years ago, and I did a few things and made a few waves, and guess what? I tried to control my mother and her little finances and her getting QVC and all the shit that I try to do and control her household, try to make some adjustments because I knew what was best for her. And I remember speaking to her attorney at the time, and he said to me, you know what you're doing, he says, she could like do a turnaround and do a backlash and do something, like disinherit you. And I said, she couldn't do that. That's my mother. She wouldn't do that. Guess what? My own mother, which in reality was the universe doing it, but my own mother disinherited me. So back to your point about friends and labels, getting away from thinking that people are going to behave in a way that you would want them to behave or you would expect them to behave, forget it. I have a son who just happens to, you might know him, who I had to get rid of this expecting him to behave in a certain way because he's my son. No, he's going to behave in however way he feels, however way he's inspired to feel. I can't take his behavior personally. So you can't take these people's behaviors personally, but it's definitely on you to realize the importance and your investment in them. It's your investment and your attachment to them. That's everybody. Everybody. I don't know if you have a mother, but that's even including the mother. The attachment, the investment. Anytime anybody can move you, can move your emotions, can move your emotions up and down, that means you have an attachment.
I really like that. I really like bringing it back to the family, the mom, the son, the husband, people that are quote unquote really close to us. There is a part of me that I guess I know I'm using the labels, but I do recognize that even though the mom might act however she wants to, she's still going to be my mom at the end of the day, you know, for all of time. Now, whether that means anything or not, I think is up to me. But in a way, I do feel like, okay, got one mom, or got the one son, the one husband, the one brother, the one this or the one that, and I might be walking into an RLN trap, but there is a sense of responsibility I feel like I have. Not to really do anything necessarily, but just to acknowledge, I guess. Maybe that's where I say, but just not to do anything, but just to acknowledge, well, she's still my mom. She's still, and what does that mean? I don't know. What does it mean when, you know, raising a kid, or you have a kid and it's just because you're the parents, does that mean you have to send them to school? You have to buy them backpacks?
Okay, we're going all around in a circle now. Just because they're going to school, does he have to see? Now we're going in a circle. We want to stay right at the point.
Okay.
A circle meaning that we don't do hypotheticals. What about a mom? Does she send him to school? We're talking about you right now in this time. Yes, you have a mom, and yes, you have a dad, but that's it. Attachments to anyone, to them, you don't have them. Listen, you could have them, but if they can move you, your mom or dad can move you emotionally, then that's work that you need to do. Doesn't matter, mom and dad. Okay, let's take a real life example. There is, and see, this is really one of the most difficult things to do, is to detach from a person who is that close to you. Now, that detaching doesn't mean that you would not do for them, or you would not be there for them, or you would not care for them. That doesn't mean that you detach from them but it's no obligation, and it's no responsibility at all. Obligation, responsibility has to go out the window. Has to go out the window. Doesn't mean that, listen, okay, I'm going to reveal something. I am your mother.
Oh, no.
I am your mother. But I do for you. I've given to you, but I'm not attached. There's a difference. There's a difference. I'm obligated to help Nathan out. I'm responsible for Nathan. No. But I am giving and giving as much as I can, as much as I want to, and even more. But I'm not attached. There's a totally different energy. And quite frankly, the detaching, and I do it with my mother, is even more loving someone. When you detach from them, you love them even more.
That feels really good. It also, and I'm in the park and I'm looking at all these birds, and they're just walking around and eating. And if one of them walked around to another bird and dropped a worm next to him or dropped a little nut or something and shared it, that would be something. But I don't really see that the birds having an attachment of like, oh, well, now we have to hang out and now you have to get me worms every day.
Yes.
I just see them kind of walking around, eating, and then one of them could kind of fly away at any moment, and that's not even a bad thing. It's just, well, that bird is gone, and that's that.
You know what? That is the perfect example. And nobody's hurt feelings. Nobody's walking around, well, why didn't you stay here and nibble with? Exactly. Look at nature and get your clues. But see, this is what's going to happen. And you really talking about it to anybody and trying to explain it to anybody, in my opinion, is a waste of time. Number one, people aren't going to understand it. Number two, people are not going to like it. But I'm telling you, it's the only way, for me, it's the only way to live. Detached. No explanations. No pressure. If you feel pressure from somebody, pressure that you have to call them, pressure that you have to talk to them, if you feel that, do you feel any obligation or pressure from me that you have to call me? From me?
You know, I guess I would say no. I mean, in my own journey, maybe I put that pressure on myself. So sometimes,
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. You put that pressure on you, but you're not getting any pressure from me, and you can feel people, and random people, anybody, when they have they put pressure on. And listen, it's not their fault. They don't know any better. They were raised in a society where if you love me, you're supposed to call me every day. You're supposed to stay in contact with me. And yes, you put that pressure on yourself, but you don't feel that from me. And let me throw this other thing in, and I'm just throwing it in because it's a perfect example. You know, Sid, I know you don't talk to him that often, but do you feel any pressure from him to talk?
No, I don't.
Exactly. So, but that's how, in my opinion, that's how I am going to be living my life. I live my life. Even my own mother, she's so cute. She's addicted to me. She's my personal stalker. She can call me 5 times a day, and sometimes I answer the phone and sometimes I don't. Well, last weekend I just did not feel like talking to her. I was not in the mood. I didn't feel like hearing it, and I didn't answer. And she called 3 times, left messages. I don't even listen to the messages. That's what's so cool. I don't even want to hear her messages. I don't want to. And whenever I called her back, it was the next day. And I could have gone a week without calling her. It was the next day I was inspired to call, and she says, "Didn't you get my messages? Didn't you know I called? Did you get my messages?" I said, "Nope, didn't listen to them." Now, she didn't like that, but that's on her. Nobody can pressure me to do anything. And the detachment is very, very important. You still care about them, you still love them, but you're detached. Just like those birds, just like you said about the birds. Remember those birds. It's very important.
Yeah.
You were right there. You saw the birds.
Yeah, I'm still looking at them. And
well,
I really
take
like
some
that.
Notes. Take notes.
Yeah, no, I like that. I like that a lot. And I like I also like what you said about loving them more with that detachment. You know,
yes.
One of the things I'm doing now is it's the loving them anyways campaign. I love you anyway. Or whatever I think somebody did or someone is doing or something, even if it's not even relating to me, if it's something that they're doing and I don't think, just like my friend I was talking about earlier, or acquaintance, I don't even know what the hell to call her now, but the person earlier.
A person with a name.
A person with a label.
Person last name. Yeah, a person with a name. A human with a name.
You know, there was a part of me that was interested in changing. It was almost changing her ideas about this company. Like, I don't think what she's doing is right. I don't think what she's doing is fair, or whatever it was.
Listen. Stay out of everybody's business.
I know that.
Mind your business.
Thank you.
You cannot elevate or teach anyone, especially when you can't elevate or teach yourself.
No.
I don't mean that personally. I mean, look in the mirror. Don't you have enough things to do in the mirror?
Excuse me? Yes. Yes, I do. Thank you for the gentle reminder. No, it's true. But yeah, no, I just want to. I like the Loving Them Anyways campaign. It's really working for me. With just like you said. You said the love, the love for a person. Is that going up and down, or do you love them anyway? Mm-hmm. Even quote unquote people we would call haters, or people that don't like us, or people that don't get us. Do you not love them too? Mm-hmm. I'm on a loving the hater, loving everyone anyways. And just like you said, that love doesn't mean I have to talk to them or call them or really do anything. I guess it's more of a feeling, or an inner feeling that's kind of always there. So I like that, and that really helps me also not take things so seriously, because people do say things that make me maybe startle me, or kind of throw me off, or surprise me, or whatever. You know, anyways. So I take it so seriously. Take it with a grain of salt. You know what? I love you anyways, and that's that.
Yeah. The thing that you responded, and I have to say, I usually tell my callers to put their seatbelts on, so I never gave you a seatbelt warning. So there it is. Keep your seatbelt on just for the whole entire call. It's going to be a little bumpy. But you said yeah, trying to listen, educate other people. Now, some guy was on my radio show last weekend and talking about, he wants to talk about nutrition, and people are eating wrong, and they know they don't have to go to the doctor all the time. They can heal themselves. And I said, listen, leave these people alone. Don't you want less things to do? Do you want more things on your things to do list? You have a list of things to do in your life. And now you have helping other people, telling other people about the company, telling other people about nutrition, telling other people about what's good for them. Huh? Now you got other people on your list? You're investing time in sending them a link and huh? Mm-mm. No. Let these people drown.
I kind of look at it like the difference between helping other people versus sharing my experience. And I really like what you said at the top of the show about just inviting people to talk and share because someone else might get something from that just by me sharing what's going on with me. So I can definitely get behind that. And if this guy wants to share about how he's learned for him that he doesn't like going to the doctor as much, he takes this vitamin, it feels good for him, and he wants to share that.
Well, we're not talking about other guys. We're not talking. But nope. Yeah, I get it. No, I get it.
You know what I mean? It's like the helping versus the sharing.
Yeah, but this is the thing: talk less, share less, unless somebody asks you. I quit sharing stories unless I'm on the radio and unless somebody asks me. Unless somebody gives me something less to do. I'm sharing a story because I want to share. It all depends on what your intention of sharing the story is. Are you sharing to entertain? Are you sharing to teach? If you're sharing to teach, forget it. I don't know.
Yeah, you know what? I don't know. That's a good question too, because now I'm thinking about, being in New York and I'm on the subway, and one of my quote unquote pet peeves, because they do this all the time, is they use the subway as a platform to share, because we're all stuck on the subway. And they do all kinds of sharing. Some of them do entertain. And listen, some people will actually give them money after they entertain because they're like, thank you. Some people are like, oh, my God, shut up. Some people teach, preach, they do magic tricks, they ask for money. Some people buy into it, and some people don't buy into it.
Okay, so what does this have to do with you?
I guess it's just because, I guess you're talking about intention. I love that thought about what is my intention. But I don't want to feel like...
So when you're on the subway, then it's all. See, it always comes back to you. Some people do this. Some people that. Why are you even paying attention to what other people are doing anyway? In any situation. Why is? See, it really comes back to you. You. What do you want to do on the subway? I don't notice what other people are doing, ever. I don't pay attention to other people. Why am I paying attention to other people? Unless I'm sitting down on the park bench and I'm people watching, that's totally different. But if I'm in my world, if I'm in the car, if I'm on the bus, I am not paying attention to anybody else, ever. I mean, I get on the bus, I see people, I sit down, and of course, I look at them, but I'm not paying attention to what they're doing. My point is to bring it all the way back to you. It's about you. It's about you. Paying attention to people is taking the attention away to you. Unless they're teaching you something. Okay, you know what? Strike all of that, because if you're paying attention to people, there must be a reason that you're paying attention. So maybe they are teaching you something. So strike all of that. Do you like paying attention to people?
Now I'm thinking sometimes I do and sometimes I don't. I can definitely tell you that if I'm paying attention to somebody else and I feel like anxiety or those kind of feelings, or what are they thinking, or I'm getting mad at someone else for if someone's on the subway and they're singing or something, and I'm like, why are you singing? Then maybe there's a time for a little shift.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's never the person on the subway singing that's bothering you.
I guess not.
It's never the person seeing that's bothering you.
I guess, well, now I also think that when I was walking here and that guy was he was using a hammer and slamming on something on the ground really loud.
And?
My attention did go to him, and then it's like it goes to them, come back to me. It's like it goes to them, and then it lets me know what's going on inside of me. If I'm really reactive to him, then I'm like, ooh, maybe something's already inside of me. If I walk by him like, damn, that was really loud, but I kind of feel cool about it. But that definitely, it's fucking loud.
Okay.
And that tells me what's going on inside of me too.
Now you just hit on a really, really, really important point. So now the universe just gave me this whole message. They just said he needs to pay attention to people because that's the way he gauges what's going on with him. And when I was saying it earlier, I wasn't really feeling it deep. I was just like saying it. But these people are here to help you. To like give you a little signal, like a little beep, beep, beep. Oh, Nathan, beep, like a little beep. Well, how fortunate you have these people to do that for you.
Do you feel that kind of signally turnaround thing if someone is saying something and it kind of turns around on you, or someone says like anything, or they tell you to be quiet or something on the bus, it's like a signally turnaround U-turn thing where they kind of help you see something inside of you, or you would phrase it a different way for yourself?
No, I would use the same like you. They're triggers that's going to help me look inside and see help me see what's going on. It's just it's like you said, it's a signal. It's a signal. It's a little beep, beep.
Yeah, I like that.
And then you're like, oh, it's a beep. Mhm. Beep,
really
beep,
good
beep.
Stuff. Beepity beep beep. Really good stuff.
And let me get to your other question about the money and setting a fee. Number one, listen to this. Listen. I don't know. I get a sense that you are overthinking everything and thinking as opposed to feeling. Feeling meaning using your sixth sense. The analyzing, the thinking, the what feels good, what doesn't feel good. Okay, you give a number, now they don't like it. Now you're thinking about it. Now you should have gotten another number, blah, blah, blah. A lot of in the head kind of, in the head. And that in the head kind of stuff keeps me, first of all, is too much. It's just too much, too much. And it feels like yours is really loud, like, hey, hey, like it's yelling. I have the same in the head stuff too, but it's just whispers. Yeah, they just whisper to me, and when you're whispering, it's a lot easier to ignore than the sounds yelling.
Have they always been whispers? Is it something like an intention that you? Yeah. Yeah, it's an intention, and it's because I asked the universe. I said, "How do I release the power of my thoughts? How do I negate the focus, the power?" They're still, listen, I'm not trying to get rid of them, but I definitely do not want them to rule my life and rule my world and rule how I feel.
No, you cannot. My thoughts are not in control at all. I told you, the apartment, and now they changed. Now there's like, oh, nope, sorry, and then it's like it's my problem. Yeah, it's my problem. And I could have sat there and wow, text, and I did it, and now, but the bottom line is, I'm not running this show. I'm not in charge of this. If those people are supposed to move into my house, they would be in the house. If they're not supposed to be moving in the house, they would be out of the house. And that's with everything. I'm not in charge. All of that stuff that you, in my opinion, that you experience and the way you experience, it's because the universe wanted to experience through you. You're actually on this ride. You're on a ride. It's like on a roller coaster. You're on a roller coaster. You're holding on, and you're going up and down. You know you're going to be going up and down. You know you're going to be going down, and your stomach's going to feel all woo, and you're going to be up, and there's going to be a time when it's over, and you feel relaxed, and you got to get back on the roller coaster. It's a constant roller coaster. But you get on the roller coaster, and then now you want to, hey, turn right, turn left, jump here, jump there. It's the struggle. So if when I got to a point where I accepted and surrendered that it's not me, I can't do anything anyway. I cannot speed the universe up. I can't slow it down. I can't make something happen, and I cannot not make something happen. I'm living out my destiny. I'm done. There's nothing for me to do. There's nothing for me to do other than what I'm inspired to do. It's very freeing. See, you still think that you have control over what's happening to you, or what will happen, or what did happen. You still think that you can make something happen. I don't mean to laugh, but I used to I'm making this stuff happen. I'm working at the Attorney General's office. Why am I got to get out of here. I got to get out of here. Well, guess what? The fucking universe doesn't want me out of here yet. Because if they did, I'd be out of here. Will I be out of here tomorrow? Who knows? But I know if I'm here, that's where the universe wants me. I could pretend to know why. I don't even care. Too much thinking. I'm living my destiny, and finally, I'm okay with that. And let me tell you this. Guess what? Guess what, Nathan? Guess what? Hello?
Yes, I'm still here.
More things are happening for me doing nothing. Don't think you came up with a figure and now she said no. You weren't supposed to train her in the first place. You were supposed to train her. She would be trained for whatever reason. And you might train her tomorrow. You might even go back and give her another figure. It doesn't matter. Do what you're inspired to do. I'm going to text this couple back and say, hey, maybe in a couple of days and say, hey, I'll drop it again. No pride, no ego, no nothing. Who cares? What price are you comfortable with? Who cares? How about that? What price are you comfortable with? Asking people. Then okay. Well, if it's not doesn't match. See, it's not about the people not wanting the price. It's about asking, giving. It's about what you're comfortable with. So that's just another thing. I don't know.
I guess.
Go ahead.
I guess what I'm, because I really, really want to latch on to the surrender. I'm already down for the thoughts, and I love the idea of softening the volume of the thoughts instead of getting rid of them. I really like that. And surrendering more. All of it's good for me. I just want to, and this is some work I have to do on my own, is just defining the difference between inspiration.
Hello?
Kind of something I'm maybe forcing or making happen.
Okay, you were cut off. You said finding the difference between what?
Finding the difference between inspirational action, things that I'm inspired to do, versus maybe something I feel like I'm making happen. Because I guess I don't. Yeah, I just, sometimes it's like, well, wait, was I inspired to do that, or did I just kind of think about that a lot and then I did it anyway? The difference for me, and just defining what inspiration feels like for myself. What does inspiration feel like? And maybe that's some work I can do on my own, because I love what you say about doing what I'm inspired to do. Just going by that motto. But I just want to, define that for me, because, wait, how do I know if I was inspired, or how do I know if I did it because I just kind of made it? I just kind of thought about it a lot and did it.
Okay, I have a suggestion for practice.
Yeah, please.
And it just came up. I don't know you personally, but one of the things that really, as far as practicing, just to go back to remind yourself and to really get a hold of this inspiration, and it's like you say, working out. You're flexing your muscles, you stretch, you get more flexible. Work out, you get strong. So it's about practicing. Everything in this life is about practicing. And it is a skill. So I totally hear you. I don't know which is it. Is it the voice or so? You need to go away by yourself with no communication. I don't know, a day, 2 days, 3 days. The longer it's going to be, the best it's going to be. Somewhere by yourself, and all you know is you're going to be here. And all you know is you're going to be there, and you just do what you're inspired to do all day long. So are you inspired to get up? Are you inspired to stretch? Are you inspired to take a walk? With nothing to do, though. No plans. No planning anything. To get back to working out or dusting off that, knowing what your inspiration feels like, because you definitely have it. Of course you have it. It's just practicing, and now the thoughts are screaming at you and going back and forth, and these goddamn thoughts, these goddamn thoughts are really interesting. The ego's really interesting because it's screaming. It wants to live. The ego wants to live forever. How did that feel to you when I said go someplace by yourself and you turn everything off?
It feels right. It feels, actually, just this morning I was thinking taking off the month of September as far as working, because I think because I am planning on moving in October. Either moving or going on a retreat or some kind of change, which may or may not happen in October, but that's just what I was sensing. And then I was thinking, why would I wait till October? Why not take September? Why would I work until the last moment? It's like maybe taking a month to have the schedule. Basically, it's not about work. It's about having the schedule open, like you said, so that there is no obligation to anything. There's no commitment or responsibility, and seeing what that felt like and where it led me.
Right.
I like the idea of going off by myself too. Just with nothing,
With nothing, with absolutely nothing, and definitely, of course, no phones, no nothing, but you need to reconnect. You need to reconnect with you. You need to reconnect with with part of what you need to reconnect with your GPS, Nathan's GPS. And that's something what happens in a large city, and where you're
stimulation.
A lot of stimulation, and you're at home and you have stimulation. That's what happens when you live by. And I'm not saying one is right or one is not, but when I go to visit Grandma, you say you got to leave that house. You got to go in another room. Why? To reconnect. It's time for you to reconnect with your GPS with Nathan, and in my opinion, the sooner the better. You can still do your September thing, but I'm talking about getting a day or 2 or 3 days, or a day or 2 days. I don't know. You know your schedule, but it's definitely time. You're screaming to reconnect. Your whole soul is and see. Oh my God! So it's really not about the guy slamming the hammer or the people in the subway. The universe is just saying, Nathan, reconnect.
Well, I like all of that a lot, and thank you for all that. I'm taking a little walk out of the park. I'm going to head back.
Okay. One of my inspirations was you said 30 minutes, and I knew it was going to be more than 30 minutes, so I made the show an hour.
Okay, cool. I figured.
Yeah. But it doesn't matter. It's still a private conversation. Okay.
All right. Thank you so much. That was really, really good. And I can give you a quick check-in, too, after the show.
Please.
Yeah. Give you a text or I'll call you back. Connect
okay, please. Perfect.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to put on the theme music and hasta la vista.
Cool. Thank you so much.
Well, I just want to say what I say is just remember, you are an extension of the universe. You are constantly evolving, constantly changing. Love is patient and love is kind. Be patient and be kind to yourself. Be your own best friend. You cannot have a happy ending to an unhappy journey. You've been listening to Reality Spirituality. Thank you. Have a nice day.
Oh, it's time to get real. Oh, yeah. It's the new experience. Reality Spirituality. Yeah, keep your ears open for this one, man. Reality Spirituality. You got a question for RLN? Reality Spirituality. Yeah, it's time to get some answers, baby. Reality Spirituality. Oh, now we get real. Reality Spirituality. Yeah, it's time to get down. Reality